Now this is going to be an interesting showdown. Hi guys, Matthew here and welcome back again to my channel. The RX 580 series and its predecessor, the RX 480 series, quickly became one of the most popular go-to choices for budget gamers, delivering before all a very compelling value. Although the RX 580 that we know today is not even close to its original MSRP price of $230 when it first launched, I thought it would be interesting to compare it to Nvidia's current gen model, which represents this exact price segment today, just for the fun of it, that being this GTX 1660 Super. I'm hoping to get my hands on an RX 5500 series card as soon as possible, so I can do a comparison of them with it too. Fingers crossed. Maybe it's a bit unfair to compare these two cards on account of this, being that they are so far apart from each other price-wise, but I'm sure that some of you out there will still be interested, as I am, to see how these two stack against each other in terms of the value that they bring in, their price to performance ratio, or maybe some of you want to upgrade from an RX 580 or an RX 480 to a GTX 1660 Super and would like to see if it's worth it or not for that same price point which it had a few years back. What's impressive in this case is that AMD, after all of these years, is still able to squeeze additional performance from the RX 580 series with just driver updates, which is essentially a GPU that dates back from R9 290 and R9 390 times performance-wise. Granted, this series was belonging to a completely different segment of GPUs a few years back, or price bracket to be precise, and as the price gradually went down as Nvidia refreshed their offering and AMD also slowly filled their own, it now ended up here in one of the most affordable graphics card segment when it comes to gaming. This is probably going to be its last stop, the final stretch, especially now as the RX 5500 series has officially launched, although I maybe wouldn't write it off right away, since the pricing of this new series isn't that appealing at the moment, everything considered. All of this is in regards of buying a brand new RX 580 series graphics card from a retailer, but since the used market is completely full of them when the last wave of mining pulled to a stop, plus the vendors overstocked the market with them to begin with, you can really get them on the cheap, with warranty and everything, way below the asking price for a new one, which is again one of the main reasons why it and the RX 570 series offer a great value, and probably still will for some time, because as I just mentioned, the prices of the RX 5500 series are somewhat steep for what they offer. A lot of people were expecting a bit lower MSRP launch prices. Be sure to subscribe to my channel because I'm also going to compare the RX 580 with the GTX 1650 Super, since they are at the moment very similarly priced, while also having a pretty equal performance output. Since I already covered in detail the GTX 1660 Super series in my recent review, feel free to check it out, I'll put the link in the right top corner of this video. I won't go too deep into it architecture wise, all of the specifications are known, so I'm going to keep this video pretty straightforward. The same goes for the RX 580 series, everything is out there for ages, and actually I had a chance to check out this exact model a few years ago, so feel free to watch it also if you wish to. As for the setup which I used here to test out these two GPUs, the core components are pretty standard: Intel 6-core Core i5-8600K CPU overclocked to 5.1 GHz and paired with 2x8GB of 3000 MHz DDR4 RAM. Of course, if you have any other concerns or questions, feel free to leave me your comment down below and I will do my best to help you out. Before I jump over to the results, I'll put a clip of my Overwatch gameplay, which also has MSI's Afterburner real-time live performance data showing in the right-left corner for each of these GPUs, just so you can get a better feel how they actually perform in real action. I'm also planning to get a capture card in the future, so I can have more of these side-by-side comparisons. Taking a look at the benchmarking figures, the GTX 1660 Super escapes from RX 580 anywhere from 20 to 50% in performance difference, so yes, it's definitely performing better. Nothing unexpected happened here, but considering it costs a lot more, it will be interesting to see what is its price per frame number. Although not a major point for majority of users, the power draw difference of course exists, especially knowing that the RX 580 is a really power hungry card, while on the other hand Nvidia with this series once again improved their performance per watt efficiency figures. The difference between the idle and the load states of each card using Fermac GPU stress test, so that's only loading the GPU, is roughly around 210 watts for the RX 580 and 150 watts for the GTX 1660 Super. That's a pretty big difference in power consumption as it is, especially now knowing how much stronger is the GTX 1660 Super, so that's an even greater difference when it comes to efficiency. That's also confirmed by looking at these numbers here, where you will get almost double the FPS amount per 1 watt of power compared to the RX 580 series. Of course, this is anything but a surprise, I'm not trying to prove a point here. The RX 580 series is based on a dated architecture, and after all, the RX 5000 series already made a decent jump in that field. It's just in general interesting to see these numbers and results at one place. Averaging in the FPS results across 10 of the games used here for benchmarking, and using that same number to divide their prices to get to the final price per frame figure, no matter how you look at it, the RX 580 series represents a better value for your money, especially if you get a used sample, where I've set the price to $100 for my hypothetical example here, where the price per frame in that case becomes a full dollar cheaper compared to the GTX 1660 Super. All in all, it was interesting to see how these two cards fare off against each other. A lot can be said, and there's a few different ways of going about it. The GTX 1660 Super is an obvious winner, but one that makes you pay for it when you compare their values, and if you don't plan to play at anything higher than 1080p resolution anytime soon, the RX 580 will still be more than a decent choice. If you already own it and you're looking for a future upgrade, you could maybe postpone it, save up some more, and buy yourself down the line when needed something that's even stronger or carries better value if you get a higher resolution monitor or upgrade your whole PC. That's it for this time from me. Thank you once again for watching. Please take a second to toss me a thumbs up if you enjoyed my content, that really helps a lot. And if you like what you saw, feel free to subscribe, and if you already are, be sure to press that notification bell down below so you don't miss out on a new video. And until then, catch you later guys.